Morning. Front screen's not working. So before and after, as you can see, all the bright work, all the varnish is coming off. That's all got to be redone. All here as well, all along here, all needs to be redone. All here, and all this front deck here, all this caulking I need to pull out and redo. It's all lifting, it's leaking, it's getting inside the boat. So I think that'll be this weekend. Today I might just try and get this sanded. This is the primer we put on here for the all wood. It has to be on for 8 hours before we can put any varnish on. So if I get that done, and then on the weekend while I pull all this caulking out, Steph can start some varnishing. So this is some before. Some before. Don't mind the engine laying there. See where all this is lifting up. The holes in the caulking, it's barely holding in there. So that needs to get done. Hard at work today. Did want to do the decks, but I really need a full day to do that. So I've done some sanding. So little Sobraon's all ready to get a little bit of a bright work rejuvenated with some varnish, which I'm sure Steph's gonna love doing. So all sanded, ready for some more varnish. So all the cabin roof's been all sanded back. All on these cockpit rails is all ready for some new varnish. As you can see, she's well overdue. All the varnish is coming off, so I'll just smooth it all back and redo it. Happy days. Going?
I'm alright.
Darren following along behind us. Awesome day so far. Hopefully the wind stays down. Heap of dolphins just there. Looks like about 3 or 4 of them. And now I've said that, they've gone under, and you watch, they won't pop back up. Told you. There they are. Jolly Roger flying for the first time. Steph sailing! Finally! Had to pump out through the channel with the wind right on the nose the whole way. And now the engine's off and sails are up. Really light winds, so hoping that ship gets into the channel before we have to cross it. And Darren turned his engine off way before us and tacked, and he's all the way back there. Steph's sailing. The winds are meant to pick up later to about 20 knots. I'm hoping they stay around 15. Alright, so that's about another probably 4 or 5 hours work. So all up probably about 8 hours of just pulling this caulking out of the deck. There's a soft spot, you probably can't tell from there, but basically from here where my foot is to over here, this deck is quite, well, it's not soft, but water's been getting in there, so it's actually concaved in it a little bit. So now I've got all this caulking out. The plan is clean all these grooves out. Now I've got to drill some holes in here, and there's a timber treatment stuff called Ebadure, so I'm going to pump that into all the holes with a syringe after I've jacked the deck up from underneath, and lift this deck up so it's not this way anymore, so it goes back to this way, and then fill it with Ebadure, and when that sets it'll stiffen the deck back up, and then recork all of this, and eventually recork the whole bloody boat all the way down there. And the caulking in the cockpit and at the back is actually pretty good. I can't see any leaks or anything in here, maybe the cockpit floor, but other than that all the rest is pretty good. So about at the moment probably about 8 hours all up, I guess, in, and probably about another 30 to go. But you can hardly call it work when you're down in a place like this, my happy place. Hey?
You're filming me? Don't film me.
I'm filming you. You're going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
You just turned the boat. I felt it.
Yeah, I did because I leant over.
New crew member on board today. What's your name again? Oh, that's right. It's Darren. It's my name. We should chuck the genoa up.
Yeah, if we're in a hurry.
I'm in no hurry.
You want to do it just because you want to chuck it up?
Just because I've never put it up. Should we chuck the genoa up?
guess that's the beauty of the ocean, is that you can find isolation if you want to.
I think that's what I love about sailing. It's because I fucking hate people. Steph's taking us away from land. No! How fucking nice is it though? Look how many boats there is out. I suppose they're alright if you're sitting back here. Wing on wing, kind of. What the fuck was that? Something over there. See it?
Yeah.
What is it? I reckon it's a seal.
I don't know what that was, but it's not a dolphin.
Definitely one a dolphin.
There it is, it's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just over here.
Ah, it is a dolphin.
Just weird out skimming the top.
Yeah. Where is he? You watch, we'll Chinese drive now while I'm standing up. Gonna hold that.
He's on the bow.
You watch me get taken out by the jib. Steer that way a bit, Steph. Go to all that effort and then he goes.
Seem to be as moving as rapidly around.
No. I'm pretty sure you just use your jib to... What are we doing, Steph? No! What's the big manoeuvre we've practiced?
Get blanket out. Where's the bucket?
Close. Not weaving to, weeing to, it's heaving to. Heave to. There you go. Weird because you look out there and it's not as green, but then when you look straight down in the water, it's like green as. Big ship. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Go downwind, they said. It'll be fun, they said. It's a lot choppier now than what it was. Nah, nowhere near as choppy as last time. There's only a couple of white caps now. Last time there was a bunch of white caps sitting. Bit of wave action now, rocky and rolly. We've got the mainsail down, jib, engine, rocking and rolling. What speed are we doing? Only because I've never revved the engine this high, so I'm just curious.
Revs or?
Nah, how many knots are we doing? The rev meter, the tacho's not working.
It's finding out now. It's not over revving it, is it?
Nah. No, I just baby it. Rocking and rolling. There we go. 5.5 knots. Jib. Look at the colour of the water. Somebody said, no, we can take the boat out, no caulking in the deck. We'll be right, no waves will come over the deck. And let's have a look. Yep, waves came over the deck. Yeah, I will. Goes up and down pretty back down the boat. Need to get a couple of layers of varnish on the cabin tops. So we've now gone from, just to protect the wood, we've still got to do all of these yet. So we've gone from looking like this, no varnish, to now looking like this. So slowly getting there. I've got 2 coats on, but it's starting to get little air bubbles because I didn't thin the first coat, so now I'll leave that and just give it a light sand and another coat whenever I've got time, and then just continue that. So now I'll move on to the decks. I've filled the deck with Abajur, so it's not soft anymore. Starting to set up nicely, but now I've got to sand all these joins out, get all the last bits of caulking out, so it looks like this, and then re-caulk it all. Let's get cracking.